Hi guys, PJ45 here. I got some true stories, but these are not about me. They're stuff about family members. Well, one of the things is not really a family member. I don't know if she would be my family member. I guess married in. But let's start with the one where it's not really a family member one. My papa told me this story because it was part his family, basically. But you'll understand when I tell you the story. So, my papa's sister's husband's my papa's sister's husband's sister, basically my great aunt's husband's sister, was drafted because her name is a dude's name. She has she's a girl with a dude's name. Samson, it was. Hold up. You two, stop it! You two, stop it! Sorry, my cat and dog are fighting underneath the table. I'm doing this while I'm supposed to be eating, but I've stopped eating just to do this. Rosie, what did I say? Stop. There. Anyways, so my great aunt's husband's sister was drafted because they thought she was a boy because her name is Samson, and anyways, and during this time she's pregnant, okay? And you fucking bitch, you knocked over our boxes. Anyways, so my great grandfather on my papa's side called them, because he's in the Air Force, called the people and asked, why are you why are you people drafting my son-in-law's sister? And they're like, what's her name? He says Samson, and they are like, Samson, it's a boy, not a girl. And the guy's like, she is a girl. And he's like, well, bring her to the medical examiner and they can prove it. And she ends up going to the medical examiner, and the medical examiner says, go home. And then this is the fucking kicker of the story. The guy called my great grandfather on my papa's side and apologized for not believing him at she was a she. And my papa also told me that that Samson said at all the guys were like, oh my god, she's pregnant, why is she drafted? All the guys who were waiting to be examined by the medical doctor. So that shows how stupid the Army is. If I ever get drafted, they're stupid because I'm not fit to be drafted. I have mental problems. I'm bipolar. I'm schizophrenic. I have diabetes. I have vision problems. And a hearing problem. Okay, next story. I forgot what this thing was called but my papa, when he was a young boy, my papa's father, my great grandfather, he went on a ship with a nuclear bomb, and they were never going to drop. They were just using it for scare tactics. And after this my grandfather was pissed off at the president at the time because he could have, everyone on that ship could have died from the bomb. Due to these ships and these bombs not being finished. The president ordered these ships and bombs to be out when they're not even safe to use yet. So that's why my great-grandfather was mad at the president after the mission. And after my papa told me about this, I'm like, okay. And then I went upstairs. I'm watching the History Channel. Hey! Rosie, don't do that. I'm watching the History Channel, and I'm watching the same fucking thing that happened to my grandfather on my papa's side. I don't remember what the thing was called, but the incident. I was watching the incident on History Channel, and the weird thing is, I didn't look it up. This is the same day I was told about this, and I just went on Hulu and went to Ancient Aliens, and I turned that on after listening to the story. They bring up this story, and they say there were 5 planes that were out that were not finished planes and not finished bombs on them. One of those, I don't know if it's my grandfather's plane or a different one, but one of those planes, the pilot saw a UFO. And they covered it up because people thought the guy was just crazy. But the report was still made, just not shown to the higher-ups, due to people thinking he's crazy. But still, I'm like, fuck. My great-grandfather was near a UFO. Or he wasn't. I don't know what ship it was. I mean, not ship, plane or whatever it was. I don't know which plane or flying craft he was on. So I don't know if he was the one who was near the UFO or was it another ship. But the ships were going to the same place. So basically all the ships were near this UFO, and only one pilot in one ship saw it. So, another story about my great-grandfather. The first time I saw him, I don't remember, I was a baby. The second time I saw him, I remember, and he had memory problems, and he couldn't take care of himself anymore, so he was in the home. Near my grandma's dad, my other great-grandfather. Not like a walking distance from my other great-grandfather. He had a scar, which my papa doesn't know how he got it, but it could have been from that war he was in. I forgot what war it was, but he was in a war. The war happened right before Pearl Harbor. It was right before Pearl Harbor incident. He was on a ship that blew up, and he survived, but but basically, I know about this because my papa learned about this when he did research on his father after his father wouldn't tell him anything. But I think my grandfather told me this after his father wouldn't tell him anything, and he told me about it. And apparently, tons of people died in the explosions and stuff because some oil spilled and stuff. And when he came home from this happening, he had a scar down his eye. Anyways, I remember him with the scar. He had the scar, and he had like a messed up eye because he had cataract surgery. But the scar wasn't part of that cataract surgery. But Papa said he came home with the scar after being in that incident on that ship. Because he was in the Marines and the Air Force. He was in the Marines and then the Air Force, I think. Or it could be the other way around. I don't know which happened first. Because I don't know the dates of each thing. Anyways, so when I met him, he kept calling me Luke, which is my papa's name. which is odd because he never called my papa Luke. He always called him by his middle name. I forgot my papa's middle name, but Ronald, I think it was. I could be wrong, but my great grandfather always called my papa by his middle name, never Luke. But he kept calling me Luke, which was weird. And I kept telling him what my name is, and he just keeps calling me Luke. And soon he forgot who I was completely, and was like, he asked my papa, who am I? I'm like, this is your grandson, PJ. And he's like, he's too old to be him. Last time I saw him was last week, and he was a baby. And I'm like, what? And then my papa's like, no, that was years ago. That was when he was only a year old. And I'm like, oh, so he met me before? And my papa's like, yes, because at that time I didn't know he met me before. I thought this was my first time meeting him. But and then he kept repeating himself with some stories that he already just told us. Stuff. That's the last time I ever saw him. Then the funeral came, and I didn't go to the open casket. Neither did my papa, because we couldn't make it to the open casket, but we did make it to the burial, where they buried him in a military grave. But later on, more recently, actually, he was moved to a different grave, because my papa and his brothers and sisters all went to court with the military to put my great-grandfather in the grave next to my great-grandmother, which I never met until she died. She was on her deathbed and I met her. My step-great-grandmother, I don't remember what she died from, but her story about meeting, she already met my father before, but the story of how she started dating my father was hilarious. My great-grandfather was hilarious. She's talking to her friend and saying, "There's no single men here," and her friend was like, "Over there is Mr. Pomerio," and she's like, "Yes, but he always sits next to that girl in church," and that's my great aunt she's talking about, and then the lady she's talking to is like, that's his daughter. And then she starts coming up and asking for a date, and that was it. My great grandfather my great grandfather on my grandma's side was a stud growing up. All the girls wanted him. Unlike me, I had a few girlfriends, but nothing too serious. Anyways, so it's fucking weird she would think my aunt, who's younger than my great grandfather, was dating. That's weird. That's not right. I mean, if they weren't related and they started dating, that's fine. But it's kind of weird because of the age gap. But they were related because that was my great aunt and that was my great grandfather, and they were father and daughter. So why would she fucking think at my great grandfather was dating his daughter? And it was obvious that she is his daughter. They look alike. Except she has longer hair and she's more large. I'm going to say, because I'm not going to say the other word because she might flip out. Because she watches my videos sometimes. So, it's just fucking odd. I never met my actual I never met my actual great grandmother. My mom was pregnant for me, and I technically met her because I was inside my mom's belly when she was around. But I technically did not meet her face to face. And she died of cancer, I believe. And she was Cherokee. She was a Native American Cherokee. Which is actually, my family history is fucking weird. I have on my dad's side of the family, I have a great grandfather who's African American. So I'm 1% African American. I got on my mom's side, which I already was talking about my mom's side. Sorry, I was looking at what was happening because the dog and cat aren't fighting anymore. Anyways, on my mom's side, which I've been talking about, I have more Irish blood on my papa side, and I also have a little bit of England blood on my papa side, just about like 2%. Hey! Don't you dare growl. Anyways, I also have Germany on my dad's side because, because in World War II, a family member on my dad's side who was Jewish was saved by a German soldier from the fence because they fell in love, and they came to America, and he abandoned his German military and became American soldier. And people didn't trust him at first, but they started trusting him once he started doing a good job. He's like, I don't know what I think he's supposed to be my great grandfather. I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't think I'm right. I think he was like my great grandfather. Yeah, he was my great grandfather. Yeah, on my grandmother's side, on my dad's side, and he was a fucking gnarly dude to have the courage to ditch the Nazis. And all these stories I'm telling you were told to me by family members. So maybe they're not all accurate, but some of them might be more accurate. I don't know. But the story about me going to Ancient Aliens and seeing this thing, that's a true story. That's something I actually experienced. And so did I did also experience my great-grandfather calling me Luke. Basically, any story I just told you with me in it is stuff that actually happened to me. And then all the stuff I told you that doesn't have me in it, or there is stuff that probably happened and I'm not sure about because I'm going out of words against my family. My family told me these stories. Well, I guess this is it for this video. Like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. See you 45 hours later. I'm going to finish eating and get these two girls separated. My dog and my cat.